Hello again, Guardians. On Wednesday, Bungie streamed their new strike, Shield Brothers, and I must say, it definitely looks like a step in the right direction. And today I want to talk about the general mechanics going on in it, and just why I like it. So, you spawn in on the Dreadnought, very simple, and then you can pretty much run all the way until the first encounter. You find a Crash Cabal ship, enter it, and then just keep on going, and eventually you'll find a tank. The same as the one that is in Cerberus Bay 3, except this time around it's much closer quarters and the tank is blocked in, so it's a very easy target. There is no issue at all with it trying to turn around and avoid your attacks, anything like that. You can just keep sniping it and it's dead in no time. The thing that surprised me the most actually was they were using the Sunbreaker Hammer of Sol on it, and that thing was doing damage. Like, it probably took off over a quarter of its health, and for a super to do that really surprises me. I just didn't see that coming at all. Maybe they're going to improve all the supers. I would love to be able to use a golden gun in PvE and actually do some damage, because right now, yeah, it's really not good at all. To be honest, all of the supers in PvE aren't great. So yeah, fingers crossed for that. Now, after destroying the tank, once again you can pretty much skip past all of the enemies until you reach the final boss. Upon entering the final room, you'll find Valus Maul, and he has a large jetpack on his back which launches himself towards you and basically slams the ground. And, it's an interesting boss mechanic, but it shouldn't be too hard to avoid. I would say it's there to try and make you not camp. It's something that forces you to keep moving around, which I really like. It's a good mechanic. And once he reaches half health, he's going to flee. After fleeing his brother, I guess, he's going to spawn in. He's called Valus Tulan, and he has a large rocket launcher on his back. And this will fire massive blue projectiles into the sky, and markers can be seen on the ground where these rockets are going to land, so they're not too hard to avoid, but once again, pretty cool mechanic. And once you get him down to half health, then he will flee, and then both of the brothers will spawn at the same time, which means you're going to have to avoid slam attacks and rockets. And it gets pretty hectic. It's really, really cool. And at the same time this is going on, there's ads spawning all the time. You've got lots of different enemies coming in. Makes it all very interesting. And the main thing to take away from this is the bosses weren't bullet sponges at all. They were hitting them with scout rifles, fusion rifles and stuff, and their health just dropped like they were regular enemies. And I guess that could be taken as a bad thing, but for me I really like that. Now, if you were to go in there with shotguns and Galahorns and stuff, it seems like they would die in about 5 seconds. That's the only thing that's worrying me. Probably the reason they're leaving Galahorn in year 1, because they don't want that to happen. And I don't know what else to say really, because while the boss mechanic was interesting, it's hardly raid level stuff. It is that step in the right direction we wanted. And the thing that was interesting to me was when the bosses died, they actually had like unique death animations. All of these other bosses we've seen, except for Sepix Prime, just sort of phase into nothingness. With these guys, the rocket sort of blew off their back and sent them flying. It was, yeah, pretty cool. It's nice to see they put in that little bit of effort. And then at the end, well, throughout the video actually, they said a few extra things that were pretty interesting and you want to hear. First off, strikes are different every time. You might be fighting Cabal in one area one time, and then the next time you could be fighting Taken. Enemies are going to spawn from different areas, and the main thing to take away is that every time you enter, there's a chance of there being different dialogue. Like, the characters throughout it might actually say different things. So that's like replayable story. You might hear a different thing. I just really like that. I think it's super cool. Also, they said there's going to be more generous loot, and in general, playing the game is going to be much more rewarding. They even said certain bosses are going to have exclusive loot. So, for example, say you beat the Shield Brothers, maybe you might get a legendary rocket launcher that you can't get from anywhere else in the game. Super exciting. I just love that idea. So, all in all, this strike is a very, very good step in the right direction. I can't wait for it, and I'm super interested to see what the other 3 strikes are going to be like. If this is the one they decide to show, then the other 3 they have are probably going to be a step up because they wanted to keep them a secret, or they were showing their best thing they had. I don't know which way around to put it, but I hope the other ones are on this level because it looked like a really cool strike and I can't wait to play it. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Destinova and out, Guardians.